What in the report of all these trends do you think is going to have the biggest impact on the field over the next decade?
So I think, when I was reading it, and one of the things that we're really focused on at Coke right now is this concept of personalization. As more and more kind of endpoints or connections points with consumers become digital, so as TV becomes digital, as outdoor boards become digital, our access to data and consumer data is going to be, more than, frankly, I think we can even access today or even think about accessing. So really that idea of how we leverage that data, build data capabilities, but then use that to deliver the concept of personalization, which we know consumers, even today, are expecting us to recognize them when they visit our experiences or our websites. If they've been there before, registered with us, they want us to know, hey, I'm a member of your team or your program, and make this easy for me. Don't make me go through a lot of hoops to participate. And so I would say that was kind of the big aha, or the big trend that we're working on right now.
Okay, John?
Yeah, I think I have to agree that that is the macro trend that's causing the most challenge for us. Our brand is fairly transparent already, so the first trend doesn't really scare us that much, and the skill set we'll adapt to over time. But the issue of personalization, think about our business. We have 1,500 restaurants, which are really manufacturing plants that people show up at when they want to and begin to demand what they want, customization. So we're now about 50% of our orders are now customized, just even with today's products. And so just to accommodate that, we have to get good at being faster and being more flexible. So as the product demands grow, it'll get even more challenging. So that's probably the one that for us is the biggest one as well.
Okay, Jeff?
Yeah, I think the last thing that you said, John, is what struck me as the most critical. So in the report, as I'm sure everybody here read diligently, it talks a lot about being flexible and being able to adapt to change very quickly. And I truly believe that's what has to happen in marketing departments, because the fact is we don't know where consumers are going to go. We can keep trying and testing, but we won't know unless we get out there and try new things. And I think the stat I keep seeing is the average CMO tenure is 18 to 24 months. So that's not a recipe for, hey, try new things and fail fast and get out there and experiment. That's, what do I got to do to keep my job? And if I step out on a ledge and it doesn't work, I'm out of here. And so to me, over the next 8 years, that's the biggest challenge we have, is the flexible organizations are going to be successful and the big corporations are going to struggle with that.
Okay, good. Joe?
Ken, I wish I could mix this up by disagreeing, but personalization, customized experiences is really important to us as well. We're fairly mass products, internet, phone, cable, but how we message and how we create new products going forward, whether it's TV online, iPad apps on demand, et cetera, it's about giving you the right product that you're looking for.
Okay, Kathy, you might answer both in terms of Google and in terms of the retailers you work with, because I suspect there might be a difference there.
A little bit. I'll shake it up a little bit from the Google perspective, in that of those three trends, mobile continues to be and has been for Google an important platform for us. In fact, about 5 years ago, our CEO said that anything that was developed had to work on mobile first before it could be translated to the desktop. So that might not sound really interesting today, but if you think back 5 years ago and you think back 2006, our founders really believed that mobile was going to be the next big platform, and because they put that mantra in place and all of our products work on mobile, we were very well positioned when mobile became a bigger and bigger emphasis for the consumer. So I think that's a really interesting thing that our company did, and it's interesting to see people like that and be able to work with people like that who have that sort of vision in what's going to be happening. A lot of the retailers, my team works with major retailers, they too are very interested in the social aspect of things and in personalization, but quite honestly, they're now sort of struggling with mobile. Retailers are trying to figure out how they can invest efficiently in mobile when a lot of the things that you all as consumers are doing aren't directly sending money to their bottom line. A lot of you are using your phones for to find out the nearest store, to find out if they have something in stock, to find out what the competitive price is. And especially as we go into this holiday season, retailers know they need to be there, but yet it's very, very hard for them to evaluate that and supply an ROI back to their organization that makes a lot of people happy.
Okay, good. Was there anything in the report that surprised anybody?
I guess I was surprised. It's branded as a 2020 report, and it feels like 2011. A lot of these things that we see going forward are things that we're dealing with today.
Okay, good.
I think the one thing that I found surprising, I wasn't on the actual creation of the team that created the report, was that there was no mention of the consumer. And if you think about who the consumer is going to be in 2020 and who's going to have the money and how old they're going to be and what they're going to be used to in their lifetime, I think that we're going to see a very different consumer, very different kind of consumer power. And yes, they will expect social and they will expect personalization, they will expect it to be mobile, but I also wonder what else they will expect given their comfort with technology and the fact that they've grown up with devices in their hands and what that's going to do from a marketing tactical perspective.
Any thoughts on what that consumer is going to look like? Crystal ball? No?
Well, for us, just one particular change. The world is going back to the cities, reurbanizing, and Chick-fil-A is a suburban brand, mostly in freestanders with drive-thrus. So we've got to figure out how to do business with customers that aren't in cars anymore. And it's going to be a big change for us, just practically. So.
And I would say for us, I mean, we're talking a lot about kind of the idea of multicultural. And we market right now, we have a separate marketing department for multicultural consumers, and so we treat African American consumers and Hispanic consumers, very separately. And so for us, it's really about this concept of marketing to a multicultural nation and how we evolve as we know that, the majority of our growth in 2020 is going to come from the multicultural consumer, and so that's a key consumer for us.
Okay, good.
And for us, I think that the consumer is going to demand that we reinvent the video business. I don't think people want to buy a big package of channels where they watch 10% of them, but they're paying for all of them. I think they want to watch and pay for the shows that they want to, or the channels that they want to, and on whatever device, and make it very easy. And so that our video business is under siege from that perspective.